Yo, welcome back, guys. Today is September 18th, Thursday of this month. Let's go over today's New York session. Okay, so as always, we start off by finding our bias. Today we were looking at a bearish bias. So the market finally flipped from bulls to bears. Here is our first break. Our second break is right here. This wick transfers over to here, and then that's where the full body candle was. And then the second break right here, as you can see, does have a full body closure. Now, if we're bearish, what am I looking for? Bearish higher time frame confluences. First thing I see is this newly formed order block. And then I also want to mark out my counter trend areas, which is going to be this all-time high liquidity. I doubt we'll get there in terms of right now. So now that I'm established as bearish and I'm looking for shorts, I'm going to jump down to the 1 hour and see what's going on. I don't really care if the 1 hour is bullish or bearish. I just want to look for bearish confluences. In this case, we have this liquidity sweep here. So where I'm looking for a reaction is either within this order block or pretty much right where we were this morning, this reaction here. The 1 hour though is overall bearish as well, so this is nice, or more probable, I would say. So 1 hour liquidity sweep. Since we're already in this area, I will kind of just skip over 15-minute. Although the 15-minute, I'm pretty sure is, let's see, break 1, break 2, bearish, break 1, break 2, bullish, break 1. I think we're bullish on the 15. Yeah, anyways, doesn't really matter. I'm kind of focusing on this area here, so I want to see what kind of reactions we can have. Immediately, I want to identify if the 5-minute is bullish or bearish. In this case, we are bearish. As you can see, we have one break here. Second break sits right here. Now, I'm going to consider this as my first break because this is from London, so the fractals are no longer fresh. This is still within the last hour and a half, so this is my first break here. Break. Now we have to identify the liquidity points. There's a bunch of liquidity points here, but overall the swing was grabbed, so I'm going to use that one. Liquidity point here because that's a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. All of this was liquidity and it was grabbed. And then we have a PA level formed, price action level formed right there. And short happens like somewhere like this. Today was a really big stop loss, maximum amount actually 70 pips. Full TP was hit, so that's nice. It's nice to see, strategy playing out over and over again as long as we just continue to show up. And it was crazy. It was really close. Like my lights, because I have automatic lights, they were turning on, and I was like, man, I know my alarm's about to go off in like a couple of minutes, and I was ready to pull out my iPad and just lay in bed and trade from there. But the moment my alarm went off, I think habitually my body just ripped off the blankets, got to it, which I'm glad I did, to continue the discipline and consistency. Now, something weird happened today, partially my fault. Oh yeah, really quick, I just want to go over the entry. 1 minute EMA sell stop limit is valid. I actually ended up just doing a market order, even though it was both are valid. Close below the PA level on 5 minute, 1 minute, and stop order. All entries are valid in this case, which is beautiful. Now, one thing is I was in the order and I was trying to do my buy limit to take my partial, and I accidentally pressed sell. So it triggered a position right there. So now I was actually over leveraged. I was risking about like 1.75% on this trade instead of my typical 1%. So I was over leveraged, and I'm not quite sure how to just remove that position. It's not like Forex where it's like CDFD contracts, you can just delete the position. So I just kind of sat, and then this candle went up, and I was like, all right, I have to kind of accept that you know, I'm risking 1.75 and hopefully I'll make 3%, right? Now, what ended up, another thing I could have done better is I could have waited for a better PA level. So I saw a lot of people on the team just waited a few minutes and they ended up getting in through this candle. 1 minute EMA limit order was still valid, but the stop loss was so much less, right? It could have been 40, like 45 ticks. TP2 would have been achieved a lot faster. So what ended up happening is when price started to break through this area, I actually cut my stop loss down in half. Just so I am back to regular risk, and if it comes up, then it is what it is, right? And so because we had a lot of volume coming in through the market from these sells after this news candle, what was it right here, 6:30, I decided to not take partials and just kind of pretend that this was my original position, right? Because my stop loss is now cut in half, so where this one would have been, same entry, and I just took full take profit at the 1 to 2 mark, so I made about 2% on the account today. So that was kind of weird, but I think I managed that position quite well, not being greedy. Now, I could have been greedy, right? But who knows, this might not have ever reached to this low at all. The other odd part is, for some reason, my trading copier on TopX didn't really work, I think. Like, it didn't adjust the stop loss as my leader account, and so I have a daily limit loss on it. So what ended up happening was, when this came up right here, it liquidated that position. So this account took a loss while the other one took a win. So going forward, I still think this is a good trade. I could have waited for a better entry, I would say, for stop loss, but either way, this one was still valid because it's maximum 70 pips and it still played out. So that's one thing to note, and then the other thing to note for next time is just keep an eye on the trade copier, make sure everything is set. And yeah, so good trade today, good performance. Pretty short video, and that's it. I don't know if I'm going to trade tomorrow. I'm going to still get up and see. If there is a setup tomorrow, I'm going to remove the copier and just trade this account so I can bring it back up a little bit. So yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow.